Brian Beck. I own StARTup Studios here in Macon, Georgia. My wife and I moved here in 2017 to open our glassblowing and ceramics studios, and out of necessity we ended up starting a new business called StARTup Studios, which provides studio spaces and gallery space to artists of all different media. We offer glassblowing classes for beginners and novices, people that have never touched glass before. We also offer ceramic workshops and classes in clay, hand building projects for also people that have never worked with clay before. I have not always been creative and into art. I didn't get interested in making artwork or being an artist until I was about 18 when I learned about glassblowing, and I started going to take classes and get educated in glassblowing. When I got into glassblowing, I was in college. When I got my degree from the school in New Jersey, my associates, I immediately wanted to have my own studio and just be making stuff. You feel like that you know everything, but then you realize quickly that you don't. And one of the biggest things that I didn't know is how to make money from it. So it really wasn't until 2017, after I got my master's degree, my wife and I moved here, and that was kind of like the last step. It's either work for somebody or work for yourself, and so work for ourselves and figure it out. When my business partner left the company, I needed to move my glass studio out of her carport, and my wife and I were moving out of the house on Napier, so we were losing her studio at the same time. And so we needed a place for our studios to be, and we figured it made more sense financially to try to put them in one building. It was really difficult to find a space that we could afford, but we got really lucky with the space that we're currently in. This property was in pretty bad shape, and the building owner didn't care to do any repairs on it, so we got really good rent and just dealt with some of the problems. But also figuring out how we wanted the layout to be. We didn't have a clear idea, we just knew we had too much space for ourselves. We went to a studio up in North Carolina and saw they divided out space by using just yellow paint on the floor, so that's how we did it. And we made those lines and said, this is where one studio is going to be, here's another one. As we got from this is where we started to where we want to be, things just kind of shifted naturally, and we just kind of went with whatever the new changes might be. We ended up making the choice on Macon because it felt better being like in a smaller town and being the only glassblower in town. I really need more glassblowers in this town, but it's nice being the only one because it helped push our business forward a lot quicker. We've got people from all ages. From the youngest age we do is 12, and we go up from there. And we've got people that have been wanting to try glassblowing, and they're in their 60s, 70s, and we're like, why didn't you try it before? And they're like, we didn't know we could. And that's one of the coolest things for us, is to be able to offer something to people that didn't know that they could. And then when they do it, they get excited about how easy it can be. It's like maybe not something they'll go in and start a new career or a new hobby, but they learn so much about it that it's a little bit more obtainable than they once thought it was. The main thing we want people to know about StARTup Studios is that it is an open to the public studio space. When we're open to the public is Thursdays through Monday. Feel free to come in here, hang out. We've got the little bar, you don't have to have a drink, but you can hang out here. We do have free Wi-Fi, so if you just want a place to go and kind of do some computer work or hang out, it's a different place than just your typical, let's go to the bar or let's go to the restaurant or coffee shop. I feel like it's a more creative place to be because you're surrounded by so much art.